something.
In case, yes, it's
It's set up to block us from saying bad things.
bad things. You think we don't say bad things, do we? Look, I've got. It's coming now. It's coming.
Nothing.
I see stuff.
No stuff over here. Oh, look, there we
Yeah,
are.
see, as if by magic. Just take, I don't know, what is it, like 10, 15 seconds sometimes?
It's quite a bit of time,
It's like whatever. It's all interesting, isn't it?
Yep.
Got to think about that. So we could say rude things, but I wonder.
I don't think if we do, they would be broadcast.
I don't think there's anybody there with a kill switch. I honestly don't.
Well, I don't know.
think
Then
it's
why
loud.
bother?
I think freedom of speech, you can actually swear if you want.
Well, yeah, I think that you have
It's
to.
not appropriate.
There's, you can't say the F word, but I think you can say things like,
Let's not judge. Where are we going with this? This is not what we're supposed to be doing. Good morning, Gilda. Yes, what an interesting way to start a broadcast.
Right.
So good morning. It's almost 11 o'clock. So we might as well make a start. It's as close as it's going to be. Well, no, it'll be closer later, won't it? When it's 11. But hey, good enough. So there you go. It's
Welcome
Tuesday.
to Elevensies Tarot Talk Tuesday with Lisa and Anton Stewart.
That'll be us, yeah. And Skittle, apparently.
And Skittle. Good morning, Jen.
Who's
Skittle,
doing
who's
her
always
best
here with us.
Doing her best to behave, but not really.
Maybe she won't put her tail in the candle today. We never know.
Wendy, thank you. Good morning. Wendy is so appreciative. She always says thank you. Don't know why.
Because she knows that it's an effort to do this.
Good morning, Alice. Alice has joined us this morning. What are you looking at?
Ness is here. It's Tarot Talk Tuesday. So
Tarot
what
Talk
we
Tuesday.
do is we talk about a particular card for like a little mini training exercise, because we only talk for about 10, 15
Yeah, I mean, but we worked out, though, if you put it all together, by the time we've done all 78 cards, there'll be over 13 hours, I think. So that's that could, you can listen to us witter on for 13 hours about the tarot deck. I know either that you could save yourself by gnawing your own arm off at the elbow. There is that possibility. I don't know. But hey, we're not always boring. So what do we got? Tarot Talk Tuesday. What do we get today? Well,
we got the Chariot.
Robbie Chariot. It's a cool card. We like this card. And I don't know. I'll let you go first because otherwise I'll just talk too much.
Well, this card is one of very interesting confusion for me.
Yes. I don't know where to
you
put
holding it up? No.
I'll hold it up. I'll hold it. I need to put my elbow here.
There? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. I think that works.
So,
let's see if that looks right.
When I learned the tarot, I wanted to learn the actual tarot and not just go on my psychic abilities. Oh, goodbye,
My name's Skittle.
Right? So I did read the Pictorial Key to the Tarot, and I read a bunch of other informative books that tell us about what the cards mean. But I still also had in the back of my mind that Pamela and Arthur didn't want to give away every single secret. So some things might be deliberately switched or hidden in plain sight. And we've said that before about swords being forged in fire and wands that apparently rule fire in the tarot, but would certainly not withstand fire. More like air. So it's interesting, and certainly I read that swords are air and wands are fire because that's the intention of the deck. But this card really is one that had me do some real thinking about. And I still sometimes use it in two different ways. Hi, Pam. Happy Mars Day. So in the Pictorial Key to the Tarot, this card is said to be representing Cancer, the sign of Cancer. And it says that the lovers have transformed into the dark and light Sphinx, meaning that one is kind of representing the new moon and the other the full moon that chase themselves in the glyph of Cancer. Then the waning and waxing moon are on the shoulders of the driver, which you don't always notice that there's crescent moons on the shoulder. And then anytime we see a moon, we know there's a new phase starting. So we're taught that this card is Cancer. And you'll see on his apron that he's got all kinds of alchemical symbols. And, his crown is an 8-pointed star for the 8 phases of the moon. There's a lot of things here that are deliberately pointing towards Cancer. However, I use this card for Sagittarius because Sag is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is the great expander, the traveler, and, here this guy is in a chariot.
Zooming around.
Some would argue, though, that his chariot's not going anywhere because it's too heavy to be pulled by the 2 small sphinx. But anyway, so you could use this card for its traditional book meaning of Cancer and not be wrong by any stretch. Or you might think about the reading that you're doing and the cards around it if it's trying to tell you it's more of a Sagittarius energy for that reading. And that's kind of what I do. If things are all looking about issues that have to do with the home or family or personal emotional transformations, things like that, I would read this as Cancer. But if things around it are very mobile, like the 8 of Wands, or seem that they're, the 2 of Wands, talking about travel and movement, then I might read this as Sagittarius. So it's kind of up to you how you do your deep interpretation. However, you should do your due diligence and your homework. Everybody and their brother is coming out of the woodwork claiming to be a tarot card reader. And while they very might well be psychic, I am not convinced that they are all fluent in the language of the tarot. And by that, if you cannot speak the language, you can't be reading that language. So I'm not poo-pooing anybody for doing psychic counseling with whatever deck they decide to use, be it a tarot or an oracle. But unless you know the tarot, you're not reading the tarot. I mean, there are so many things to trigger your subconscious and help you. Good morning, Savannah. But do your due diligence. Learn what the cards mean. And again, sometimes you're going to come up across something like this where your gut tells you, man, this is Sag. But all of the instructions, all of the language interpretations say, this card is Cancer and here's why. Here's the new moon and the full moon that are like the glyph for Cancer. Here's the waning and waxing moons on his shoulder. The 8 phases of the moon are in the star on his head. So, think about what the card means to you and take your deeper interpretation from the cards next to it. Your turn.
Basically what she said. Because for those of you that know, I had no experience with the tarot whatsoever until I met Lisa. So Lisa is the one that has rubbed off on me in my reading. And I too have that duality with this card where, the true archetypical meaning of the card is that of Cancer. And Cancer is the sign that moves fastest through the moon, which is ruled by the moon.
Right.
And the moon makes a tour of the zodiac pretty darn quickly.
Right, so that makes sense.
So you've got that kind of speeding thing going on there, and you can see all of the astrological signs represented here. However, there is, for me, also a very, very strong illusion of Sagittarius here, with the very Boolean kind of choice. Things are sort of black and white, and I think that's a kind of dead giveaway with Sag. To be honest, it either is or it isn't.
Right, Cancer is.
Cancer, on the other hand, is a little more. Oh, please.
Do not light yourself on fire, please.
Please behave. Yeah.
You're going to be cuddly or stinky?
She's stinky. She's always stinky. One day you'll see her how she truly is. You think she's cute.
Well, she is cute.
She's squeezed from the butt cheeks of Satan, I'm telling you. So, the Boolean sort of thing, whereas as Cancer is a little more obtuse perhaps, and certainly more of an analog rather than digital kind of sign, if you know what I mean. There's not 2 states with Cancer. There's There's a very, withdrawn perhaps, and don't necessarily express themselves in the same way as the effervescent
right, yeah.
Sagittarius.
Pam is saying everything is gray for Cancerians, and Melanie wants to know what the roaring noise is. Passing cars, because we have our back door open.
Yeah, I should have shut that. I'm sorry.
You'll hear chickens too if there's an egg laying going on.
I do apologise. Yeah, the Mevo microphones are very good, but they're omnidirectional and they do tend to pick up everything. So, and hello, whoever you are. You're new, I think, Mr. PK or Miss PKR567. And you two have cats. Well, yes, we have a few.
Yes, I'm just one cat short of the crazy cat lady.
I don't know. I think you passed that some time ago, to be honest. But this card. So in a reading, what did this mean? Well, one of the most trivial meanings about this is to do with transportation and probably getting a new car or issues with a car. So
that's
so this is gonna
this
is something that obviously. It's kind of strange because what we're doing is we're looking at a card in isolation, but it's highly unlikely that you would just pull a single card for a person. Although this Wednesday,
tomorrow night, we'll be doing that.
And if you kind of join us for that, we start around 6:30. I want to say that's when we do card. I said do.
Yeah. Well, see, that's one of the things they won't block out.
There you go. I got away with that one.
You just can't say the F word.
I'll try not to anyway. No effing swearing. We're live. Right. So, so if you want to read in, join us tomorrow night about 6:30, I think.
Provided I'm still standing.
Yeah. having a bit of owiness at the moment. Hopefully the meds will fix it shortly, we hope. This... transportation issues, cars, that sort of stuff. Because, it's interesting. The very first time I saw this card and I saw it's the Chariot, I go, what chuffing Chariot? I can't see one. But you realise it's absolutely head on, and here are the wheels either side. And
right, but it's made of stone, though.
Well, it could be. It's certainly got that grey thing to it. But it's pretty. They did do stone chariots once, I think, or was that in the Flintstones? I think
that was the Flintstones.
Donation is not required at all. You're okay. You don't know you. We just give
tomorrow
back.
Night is free.
Yeah.
If you're going to go to the Witches' Tea Party on the other Wednesdays, you either have to donate your time by reading other people, or make a donation to the church.
Yep.
So that the
an exchange of energy.
Yeah, the Witches' Tea Party page on the odd Wednesdays is by donation, but tomorrow night's our give back, so it's free.
Yes, it is. So the Chariot is quite a fortuitous card. It's not. It's fairly. On the scale of positive to negative, I would say it's more positive than negative. If you were looking for just to yes or no's or affirmations and stuff like that. But it can indicate also, as Lisa was saying, with the Eight of Wands in there, perhaps came with this, would indicate very swift movement, going places quickly. And so that's why we
taking
both
control of your life, making a positive change.
This is why we both feel that very strong Sagittarian connection to this card as well. So it's kind of cool. It's a useful card. So it's another one we can check off. We've done a few now.
Yeah, we've been at this several weeks.
Yeah, we've been doing this a little while. So if you want to go back and so why do you retract all your messages? It's interesting.
What?
The person who was messaging us and saying thank you very much has now retracted all of their messages. It's a very strange thing to do.
I don't know.
Unusual.
Maybe they wanted a reading and...
Well, they did, but said join us tomorrow night.
Join us tomorrow night.
That's absolutely fine. So anyway, we should probably now, because that is not our card of the day.
No, now we need a tarot reading for today.
We need to do that. Let me try and get this card back into the deck somewhere.
Yeah, just put it upside down and backwards too.
I'm not doing that. There you go. Your chance.
Pam says that she always felt the card is about having faith in herself and her guides. True. And Savannah says, I have a new grandbaby on their way. And we think they're going to be a Sag.
Oh, hey, that's not a bad thing.
I love Sag.
I do, yeah. One of my best is... Oh, there's a card for today.
Today, now I read this card a little different as well. I don't see this as a miser who won't share. I see this as someone who's carefully. Can you hold it, please?
Of course, I'm sorry. I was
carefully,
too busy slurping my coffee.
Carefully building their foundation, saving up for things that they really feel passionate about, and making sure to have some funding for the future ideas that they have. So my reading for you with this card for today is work to be financially sound. Don't over invest if you can't afford it. And we have had this card a couple of times in the past week. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I read so often that I couldn't tell you.
It's a blur. It's all a blur.
But what I'll say, so my reading for you for today is don't live beyond your means today. Whatever you spend, make sure you can afford to spend. Save some money for the future. And just like focus on prosperity. You know, focus on having enough, not being short.
Yeah, it's a good card for fiscal responsibility. But I do sometimes, as I said, in a reading, it depends what it's coming up with. But this can show a potential for being slightly mean and miserly. It can show that. But I think the idea today is be fiscally prudent. Is that the word we're looking for? Fiscally prudent. That sounds rude. Okay. But no, make best possible use of your financial resources. Right. Is the long and the short of it. There are certain things that it does
don't
well.
Overspend, don't hoard.
Yeah, don't hoard, don't overspend. Spend wisely. If something looks like a good investment, absolutely. You know, if something looks like, oh, this would be good to own, and I can get something well positive from that. That's a good thing, you know. So this is about reasoned spending and reasoned hanging on to stuff. So I think financially prudent, fiscally prudent is the word. Yeah, that does. You don't have to hold on to everything, because if you just hoard money, if you owned every cent in the entire world, if you owned all of the money, it would actually be valueless. So just figure that out for a while, because you're the only person who's got any money. It means nothing to anybody else anymore. So yeah. Yeah, so it's actually, if you're thinking about, I mean, if you've got a question on you, should I, this is quite a positive card, especially in terms of, you know, business projects or business plans and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it can be useful. So good card, I think, for us for a Mars-driven Tuesday.
Yep.
Get things going, get her done.
Live long and prosper.
Oh yes, live long and prosper. As they
God
say.
willing, Goddess willing, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, we will. And gosh, all the time just flew by, didn't it? Yeah. So tomorrow's quite a busy day for us. We've got all manner of good stuff going on. Got all manner of good stuff going on today as well. I just hope you feel better, so you can move that nasty knee of yours.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We do appreciate your support. Tell your friends, and have a wonderful